Hi, I'm Justin Boyd.
Hi, I'm Brittany Pacheco.
I'm Frank Cooper. No, I'm not. It's George. Hi.
And I am Nathan Hill, and we are
Yeah, the Watchers in the Basement.
In the basement.
and we
That
are
worked
totally out of sync.
perfectly. Yeah, we're
Yes.
we're not in sync. We are tearing up your heart, but we're not in sync. So anyway, welcome to the Watchers in the Basement. We're back here live from beautiful Houston, Texas. It's hot as hell here. Of course, it's August. It's been about a month, maybe 6 weeks since our last show. So we're back. But the reason why we're back on this Friday, this beautiful Friday here in Houston, is 2 weeks from today. One of our favorite shows from last year, The Boys, The Boys are back. Boys season
Boys
2.
are back in town.
There we go.
Sorry, that's all I know.
That's Thin Lizzy. I don't know if you're familiar with the band, but I'm a little bit older than y'all. So anyway,
Just a
yeah,
little bit.
we're kind of me and Nathan are in the same category, same age bracket, I guess you'd say.
Old as
Right. So The Boys season 2 will premiere on September 4th, which, like I said, is 2 weeks from today, and we're excited about it. We can't wait. And this is basically our season preview. So thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live today. Our video will be also available on YouTube, or you can catch the audio version of this podcast on Spotify or iTunes. Basically, anywhere you can get audio podcasts, our show is there. So before we start talking about the show, let's just kick it around the room. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Brittany?
Hey, so I'm glad that we finally got together to do this. It's been a little over a month since we last did a podcast for Watchers. If you guys haven't checked out our That's What She Said, a discussion on The Office, be sure to check that out here on Facebook, also on YouTube, and through anchor.fm. You can check out the audio podcast on Spotify, Apple, what is it called? Apple something. Whatever.
Apple Podcasts.
There you go.
There.
Wherever you go and get your podcast. So, but been doing all right, just hanging out, and still trying to truck through this whole pandemic thing.
Yep. So Frank, I mean George, how's it going? How's it going over there?
Yeah, this is Frank. I'm good. Just hanging out. I have a photo of Frank because he's not with us today. He couldn't join the meeting, so he's here in spirit with me.
This is not a meeting, George.
Yeah, no, I've been just hanging out, quarantining, and I just rewatched season 1 of The Boys, so I'm very ready for how many days we got left? Like 2 weeks?
2 weeks exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 weeks, I'm ready. I'm ready to check out this new season. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. We're all pretty pumped up for it. Nathan, how are you doing? And are you ready for this season I can't even talk. Season 2 of The Boys.
Yes, I very much am. I also just finished rewatching. This is the third or fourth time watching the show since it originally came out. I just finished last night with the last episode of season 1. Love the show, and I'm excited. I've got some ideas on where I think maybe they'll go. I don't know. I haven't read the comics, so I could be completely off base, but I have some theories, and I'm not afraid of throwing them out there and being wrong.
Yeah. Well, we'll hear please tell us your theories later on when we kind of have a discussion about season 2. But I think the first thing we should go ahead, Brittany.
I'm going to cut you off real quick, Justin. So I'm watching our social media here, and Jason Harrell, I think a friend of yours.
Yep, he is.
Speaking of theories, he's got a theory about how this whole operation works, is that none of us are wearing pants.
Well,
there's
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That's not a theory. That's what we like to call in the business of fact.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money I've saved on not having to do laundry? I wear the same shirt and that's it. And if you've seen Deadpool 2, you know the rest. I'm just, you know.
Oh,
my
man.
gosh.
So yeah, before we start, I offer our thoughts on the season, the boys, the upcoming season. Nathan, let's take a look at the trailer for
That
season
sounds
2.
like a fantastic idea. So bear with me
Okay.
as we get that going here.
Will do.
There's been several trailers, but
I think this is the official one, though.
yeah.
All right, you guys ready for this?
Let's
I'm
go.
ready.
Let's do this.
Federal authorities have initiated a multi-state manhunt for William Butcher.
There's our guys.
If anyone spots William Butcher
Boys
or
and girl.
any of his known associates, Marvin
Female
Mill, Hugh
species.
Campbell, or this man, please call 1-888-0-CRIME.
Why you gotta leave out Frenchie like that? Come on.
The world still
Don't
needs
you dare
superheroes.
So let's get out there.
Y'all notice that it says girls get it
So,
done?
was that 7
Yeah,
people
we
in
do.
that room? Or 6?
Don't you worry.
I don't know.
Not
that
sure.
happened so quickly.
Daddy's home.
Yeah, he is.
I know we've been through some shit together.
Who that
This
is?
is a fucking mess.
You gotta love the music of this
We're the
show.
most wanted lads in the
Oh, yeah.
country.
So what's your big plan?
You'll love it.
Oh my gosh. His hand.
Never fucking love it.
Noted.
Oh, we got the deep back. Oh. That's even better.
Ain't you twits lucky that I showed up?
Number 4.
Yep.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, that's looking like fun.
So I noticed some new characters. I noticed
Yeah.
some familiar faces. Some disturbing scenes. It looks like another boys season to me.
Oh, by the way, guys, heads up if you're just tuning in, graphic content included.
Too late. Too late for
Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, after the exploding whale and the middle finger and the F word consistently used, yeah, we should point out that it's a little more adult than what we're used to on this show. But
Well,
you know,
this makes me glad that we're not actually in the studio, you know, because we
Right.
kind of can't do that stuff when we're in studio. So I like this being able to do it from
that's right.
comfort of our own homes. We have a little bit more freedom.
In our underwear. Or less.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
exactly.
The old Zoom room. There's no rules in the
Zoom
Zoom
room.
room, right?
Oh no.
No,
Zoom
there isn't.
room rules.
We don't talk about Zoom room.
Yeah.
So,
So,
what are you
so
guys'
Brittany,
first takeaways?
yeah, Brittany, go for it.
So, I mean, it's such a quick trailer, but I say that, but I mean, so much is going on. Obviously, we're picking up from the fact that the boys are on the run. Obviously, I feel bad for my boy Frenchie. I mean, everyone knows who everyone is except Frenchie. We don't know who Frenchie is. There's some really gross looking scenes in that whole trailer. I think the one that stuck out the most to me was Homelander drinking or like
The
licking
milk?
out of the bottle. That's just no. I mean, I know he's got like mommy issues or whatever the case may be, but stop. That's gross. Okay,
So,
like
so I've
he's
got a
just
question
thirsty.
for you guys regarding that in particular. Is this going to be like a Martha moment in the Batman vs Superman where Homelander's going to get mother's milk and he'll be like, but my name's
hope
Mother's
not.
Milk, and he'll be like, oh, my mother was milk too.
Wow, wow, that's tough. You know, the worst part about it is he's lactose intolerant. That's,
Wow.
that's not funny, honestly.
no,
It's
that's not.
funny,
As
but-
someone
If
who
you're suffering from that, we're not
Like-
making fun of you specifically.
I'm lactose intolerant, guys.
Yeah.
I really am.
if you are suffering from that and you're in a Zoom room, wear pants. Just wear pants. It's a pro tip. Put on some pants.
well, according to your friend Jason, underwear is for newbies.
Mando.
Oh, commando style. But yeah, definitely a lot going on in this trailer. I'm curious to see the development for the Deep, because when we last saw him, he was kind of going through a breakdown, shaving his head and all that kind of thing. So I'm really, I haven't rewatched The Boys like Nathan and George have most recently. I need to rewatch it, obviously, to have it fresh in my mind. But like I'm so excited it's coming back. Spoiler, even though season 2 hasn't come out, they're already greenlit for season 3. So this show is just amazing even before its new season. So that's awesome.
And it was the same way with season 1. Before season 1 came out, they'd already been picked up for season 2.
Yeah.
And Brittany, while we're talking about season 3, it was announced this week that Jensen Ackles, I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with that actor, but he's on a show called Supernatural, which has been on TV for 15 seasons. I think it's wrapping up this fall. Anyway, he's going to be a new character on season 3. He's a pretty big star, like in that kind of TV superhero kind of
universe
genre. Yeah, because he was on a season of Smallville, and then of course he's been on Supernatural. And the tie-in is Eric Kripke, who is the showrunner for The Boys. He created the show Supernatural, so that's the connection.
Oh, okay.
But this actor, his character, he's going to play Soldier Boy. So
Soldier Boy.
Yeah, Soldier Boy, not Soulja Boy, but Soldier Boy. Yeah,
you gotta crank that.
Yeah, so crank that. Yeah. So I wonder,
boy, tell him.
When did Soldier Boy's hit come out? Like when did that Superman song come out?
Oh man,
like 2000. Oh, like
2006, 7.
Yeah. So
I was like a senior in high school. So
I was thinking about this because I think the comic was done like in 2006 or 7 or whatever. So I wonder if he was named after the rapper. It's a theory.
2007.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
2007.
Yep. I was
but anyway,
in high school.
This Soldier Boy character, he's kind of like a knockoff of Captain America from what I've read. So,
okay.
but he's no surprise because it's the Boys universe. He's a less heroic Captain America. So It sounds like it'll be the actors are he's pretty comedic. So I think it should be a really good character. I can't wait for that. But let's talk about season 2.
I want to get Nathan's take on this trailer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to throw to.
So, first off, love the trailer. I thought it's just phenomenal. And using Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire" in there is just like kind of fourth wall there. Several things in the trailer jump out at me. First, we see, and there's another trailer. I don't think we're going to be playing that one, but introduces us in this trailer or clip to Stormfront, who is the girl you saw at the table with the 7 and with the lightning and all. And so I'm interested in seeing her. But what caught my eye, and I still haven't played through and scrubbed the video to the point where I like pause it on the table, the table of the 7, but it looked like there were 6 people seated and then Homelander standing, which would mean is either A, is the Deep back with them, or do they have different people? And the other thing is, I've seen, I don't think it was in this trailer, I've seen a shot of A-Train who's in a coma or something, or I mean, it may be episode 1 right after, he had his heart attack, but he's unconscious. We don't know when he's coming back or waking up, or if he's still in Starlight under the bus, but since Starlight's still there seen with the 7, I'm assuming he doesn't, which brings me to my fan theory. So, I haven't read the comics, so I don't know. This is just based off what I've seen on the show. In season 1 and a little bit we've seen from season 2 in this trailer, I get the impression, like with last season, I think I mentioned this on the show before, the Deep is going through these personal changes and he's coming to terms with who he is, and I think he'll come out of that trying to be a better person. Same goes for Queen Maeve. And also, I think even A-Train is, when he comes out of this, I'm guessing he comes out of it, or else there's yet another new person at the table of the 7, and it's not A-Train, which I don't think is the case. I think it's a redemptive arc for him, too, come to terms with he's the one why Pop Claw's dead. And I kind of felt from the get-go this is going to eventually turn into the 6 plus the boys versus Homelander. But, and I kind of wish I'd found the trailer. We're kind of quick in trying to put this together, but it looks like Stormfront is gonna be besties with Homelander. So that's gonna be interesting.
I think there's going to be a rivalry between the two.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know
just
if they'll
my
be
guess.
besties.
Yeah, because I
Could
think
they-
she has similar powers. Go ahead.
Could they potentially be besties with benefits?
That's kind of what I
Mm.
mean by the besties. Like, it's
I
'cause
don't
I know
think
where you're
so.
going with it, but there was a clip or a shot from one of these other trailers in which she just kind of pulls the cleavage and she's just like, go for it, and he blasts her with the lasers and she's like, ooh, and it's almost a sensual kind of moment, like they're into this
Right.
BDSM super style or whatever. So I don't know, and it could be in a rival form, but either way, I don't think she's gonna be friends with the boys.
No, I think that's a safe bet. So, George, what do you think about the trailer?
I don't know if I agree with Nathan's theory about that guy, about her and Stormfront and Homelander like being besties. I think she's gonna be there to mess things up, because I don't know if y'all watched that 2 minute, like it's like a 2 minute clip or whatever, when she meets them for the first time. He looks so annoyed and pissed off already at her. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna continue throughout the season, and something's gonna happen. We'll see. But I'm curious to see who that other soup was that was like in the video shop, like he blew everybody away. I don't know who that is, or another character is going to be introduced. We don't even know who it is.
Blew everybody. Are you talking about the guy with the tattoo on his chest?
No.
Is that in this one?
Was that him? Was that the terrorist? Because he had a hoodie on. You couldn't see his face.
I don't know. I missed who you're referring to.
Yeah, it was like they were in like a video shop, but he had a hoodie on. You couldn't see him, and he just like he blew everybody that was inside away.
Yeah, that guy in the store. Yeah, I don't know who he is.
I mean, it could be that terrorist one that you said, but I don't know. Why would you hide him? Like, we already know what he looks
He's done
like.
explosions, and this was more like telekinetic push. So I don't know.
Yeah, it
who
looked
he
different.
is. Maybe he's one of the mystery people at the table of the seven we didn't recognize or didn't really have a moment to look at.
Could it be Lamplighter? Is he not really dead?
Well, I thought Lamplighter was Mr. Fiery kind of guy, because didn't they say incinerated? And
I don't know what he did.
So I don't think it's Lamplighter.
So Lamplighter is kind of like their version of Green Lantern, because so people who don't know, the Seven is like a reference into the 7 members of the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously Homelander, Superman, I guess Black Noir is kind of Batman. The Deep is Aquaman. Queen Maeve is like Wonder Woman. There's a guy in the comics. I haven't read it, but I've seen some information. Instead of being the Flash, this guy's like Mr. Marathon. So I guess he's he can run fast, but he just maybe he doesn't run fast, but he can run a lot or something. And it sounds like Lamplighter was kind of like Green Lantern, just by the way his costume was very similar to like Green Lantern. But then, like Green Lantern, I mean, if you go back to the classic Ryan Reynolds film, his powers he can create with his mind, right? Wasn't that like whatever he could think of, he could use as a
school
weapon.
bus.
To a school bus.
Green Lantern can't affect yellow things because.
Oh, there you go. So, like about 3:30 every day, he's just screwed. Like he can't.
Oh yeah, he's when school buses are rolling around time, he's ducking cover. He's off the streets.
But I do think that Lamplighter is going to make an appearance this season or next season, and I think I've read some stuff about that. So that's not some like me freestyling something. That's something I've read. So
nice.
But what do you guys think? Do you think that the original, the pre-mentioned ones, the Deep, A-Train, and Maeve are going to end up against Homelander at some point, helping the boys out?
Possibly.
I'm not entirely sure. I am pretty confident that what was her name again? Nathan
Stormfront.
I'm based on that 2-minute video that George was referencing when it kind of seemed like she was going live on her own social media or whatever. and meets Homelander, I feel like she's going to try to replace him as the leader of the Seven, like for sure, and probably play that game of, oh, we'll be best friends, lovers, whatever, but really I'm just gonna stab you in the back.
Oh, I definitely think she's not trustworthy. That just from the little
absolutely.
bit I saw in that, I definitely got that feeling.
Right. But one thing that we haven't talked about yet is the end of season 1. Spoiler alert, everyone who has not watched all of season 1.
Stop watching now.
Stop watching now. I'm talking to you, Teresa. So we learned a really big surprise about Butcher's wife and Homelander, and there's a child involved. And so we have to obviously see that development of the child with Homelander and how does
Learning
Butcher
to fly.
Exactly, learning to fly. I like how you put that, Nathan. But also, how does Butcher play into all of this? How is he able to get back to the boys? Because he was left off, in the front yard, in front of his wife with Homelander and this kid. So lots and lots of questions that need to be answered.
I still go back to thinking that Homelander thinks himself indestructible, considering the best shot the Butcher came up with to hurt him was to kill Elizabeth Shue's character. I forgot her name. Madeline. And when he saw that didn't hurt him at all, because literally he killed her. Spoiler alert again. I think he basically thought, and now he's revealing that, hey, here's your wife. She left you to have my kid. I think that's going to be like, he'd rather just hurt him more because he's sadistic as all get out, as we've seen. He likes causing pain. So I think he realizes that Butcher tried to kill himself when he pushed the bomb, when he triggered the bomb. And he thinks killing him's mercy for Butcher. It's so much better that I let him live, and he's already proven he can't hurt me.
This is like a Joffrey concept all over again.
Yeah.
Who's Joffrey?
I don't know.
What show is that?
Game show. There was a game show about
show.
chairs, if I recall.
It was like musical chairs, but it involved you either win or you die.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Just a quick tangent on right. Just a quick tangent on Game of Thrones. Because it ended so poorly, I don't think there's ever been a show that was so like red hot and then immediately was just like ice cold. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it was Song of Fire and Ice.
It was a song. Yeah, I set you up for that. But you know what I mean? Like, no one ever talks about that show anymore. Or if they do, it's to make fun of it like we just did. And it's like, I mean, like, it was like perfect for
Herculean
7 seasons. I mean, they had a total of like 67 episodes or 73 episodes, and probably
65 were good.
Probably 70 of them are like perfect. And there's like 3 or 4 that are just terrible. It's like, and that ruined it. And it's like, it bums me out because when we make fun of Game of Thrones, I'm like, the reason why we do this podcast is because of Game of Thrones, because we love that show so damn much. And
musical chairs. I mean, let's be honest, we like musical.
We love musical chair. Who doesn't? Yeah.
I played a win.
Anyway, back to the boys. A much better show. So far.
So far.
I mean, I don't know. Season 1 of Game of Thrones was pretty damn good too. Like it was, they were rolling also. So
let it come to its conclusion, and then we can make that decision.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's not how today works. You got to make an instant decision right now. Like,
right now.
You have to be an instant expert on everything. Don't change your mind. Yeah.
Speaking of being experts in instants, I happen to know that whale watching is fun, but whale ramming more fun. So I think with that segue, why don't we give our audience a chance to watch another one of these clips?
Yeah. I was about to say, do you have a visual aid? Right.
George is a fan of our sea friends.
Yeah, this one was brutal though. I do feel bad for this one.
But you're laughing as you're talking about it.
If I have to compare this one to the dolphin one was way funnier.
The dolphin.
Yeah, because you didn't see it coming. Like it just came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Not at all. It was so funny.
All right, you guys ready to do some whale watching?
Let's check this
Let's
out.
do it.
All right.
Come on! Frenchy, stern line! Go, go, go! Go, go, go!
By a shitload of dolphins and sharks and everything.
Are they suits as well? Oh, look, it's Moby Dick. And the other Dick.
Is he riding the stone there?
Yeah, he's riding Storm. What a stance! Oh yes.
So majestic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does really well. Oh my god.
Poor Huey. Oh my god. Oh.
Oh man.
They rammed right through that whale. Oh my god.
Sheesh. That was brutal.
That's so...
Diabolical.
There we go.
Why do the sea animals have to be the ones that can't catch a break? Why? Why?
I don't know. This show does not care about wildlife.
So,
Apparently.
key takeaways there.
They are confronting the deep. We do see him return in some fashion, obviously. And
Was that Lake Erie? No, there's no whales in Lake Erie that I would be aware of. So.
Nathan.
But I do wonder how he got
God.
off the lake because his hair is pretty short.
Yep.
So this is only the first thing I noticed in it is it's probably only been a couple weeks, unless he's been just keeping the buzz cut thing going, because he shaves his head in the last episode of season 1.
Yeah.
Well, he shaves his whole entire body.
Well, yeah.
So
it looks like he's only got a few weeks, maybe a month at most growth.
Yeah.
So he gets off the lake. He gets out of there. So is he back with the 7? Does this potentially answer our question that he's back with the 7? Or maybe he's trying to catch him on his own so he can get back with the 7.
Yeah, I see that happening more than him just joining right away. Maybe he just wanted to chill with the in the ocean with his homies.
Oh, it could be. Oh no, you don't think he was romantic with the whale, do you? Was that a sperm
Of course he
whale?
was.
I'm not sure.
I told you.
that for sure is Moby Dick. Yeah, definitely.
Wait, what was it? The Moby Dick, the white whale?
I don't know, but I just think it's a funny joke.
Why does he have to be white?
Oh man, that's funny. Justin, what did you think?
It's 2020. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of seeing sea animals killed because I went to SeaWorld a lot as a kid.
So you were just used to them being abused, seeing them being.
I've got a soft spot. Yeah, just abuse. Yeah, I got a soft spot for Shamu. So it's a little tough to watch.
I got a soft spot for soft shell crab, but it's kind of different.
Right. I do think that, like we're talking about, I think that this is the deep kind of on his own. I think he's trying to. I don't know when this is going to be in season 2. Like, I don't think it's probably the first time we've seen. Maybe it is, but I think that you have another clip, Nathan, that where we'll go to her in a little bit, where I think it shows after this happens, we get the aftermath of him kind of meeting up with the 7 again. So I don't believe we see him with the 7 before this next clip that you're going to play. So
and yeah, I'm looking forward to this next one because I have not seen this follow-up clip myself. I don't know if everyone else has. I think Justin has.
Yeah, just
so
very
I've
quickly.
I've seen another trailer
time.
that references and has a few moments from it, so I'm not sure what we'll see in this particular clip. We've talked about enough. We want to go ahead and just show it.
Let's just
now?
play it.
Roll
Roll
right.
it.
Let me come over here, and we're gonna share that screen again. And we're going over to number 3.
I love your background, by the way, Nathan.
Promise will harvest your blood.
Oh, the deep. I feel your pain, my friend.
This is Lover for sure.
Homelander. Hey.
Hey,
What happened?
He killed her. They fucking killed her, man.
What?
I just was trying to help out. You know, I got the intel and the bullet. I'm just trying to cut him off.
Look at the guts. Oh my god.
Sorry, I was just like, I'm
Oh, we got A-Train, we got Noir,
So you're saying
Starlight.
there's people with the
I love
terrorist
how Black Noir was like
I
actually.
think so.
He's concerned.
Did you get a
Yeah.
good look at
Yeah.
them? Not really. I was too busy worrying about Lucy.
Is this her first time seeing him since
But I think they went out
Yeah.
for the storm
his
drains.
departure?
Can't be
Must be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Starlight. Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, get him, Starlight.
Exactly.
Starlight.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, what I did was unforgivable. I'm going to do everything in my power to renew my light. Not just for you,
bet that
but for
whale
all the
has to
female
smell
people that I've offended.
Renew your light? Did you just fucking join the Church of the Collective?
Maybe.
You're an idiot.
Hey, easy on the religious
Yes, he is an
persecution,
idiot.
Okay? New
Agreed.
Girl, Starlight. Maybe one day you can welcome me back into the Seven. I know my road is long and hard.
Are you serious? There is no fucking way
Bleep.
you're coming back.
There's no need for language.
All right, enough. We do not have time for this.
Look, I am with you, sister, but first we have to go get the terrorist, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they looking at each other like that?
That's what I'm saying. They're friends with benefits.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
But she made it seem like she was like kind of like the one in charge.
I wonder
Right.
how
Yeah, she
that
did
would
kind
make.
of jump in the middle there, like saying how things might be. So, but you
Yeah.
know, for me, the first thing I noticed, it answered one of my questions, which was the situation between A-Train and Starlight, where we were left off with the last. So clearly, A-Train either somehow lost his memory, which seems unlikely,
Right.
or he's like, okay, Starlight, either I know enough to know you somehow saved my life, or I agree, Homelander's the problem. I don't. There's something there, but clearly
Right.
he could have ratted her out and had her taken care of. So I think this is him coming to terms with who he was and trying to make a change.
Or
Yeah.
or he's biding his time until it's going to be in his entire benefit.
I don't
I
know
don't think
about
so.
that one, because Homelander made clear to him in the first one, like, don't ever keep secrets from me again, right? So if he
That's
came
true.
out like later and was like, she did this, he'd be like, why didn't you say something the second it happened? So I don't
I'm gonna
know.
kill him
if-
anyways.
Yeah.
That's true. That does make a lot of sense. But I also wonder, with this new character coming into play, I wonder how Queen Maeve may feel, because she's been in the Seven for quite some time, and then it kind of seemed like it's her and Homelander, kind of pairing up and being the leaders, if you will, of the Seven, and then this other broad comes in, and it's like, what the hell? I wonder if we'll see any cattiness between the two.
I think we're going to, because if you notice from that first trailer we showed earlier, it's almost like they have like a Vought, which is the company that, I guess, how would you say it? Like they own the
heroes?
superheroes, or they produce the
Basically.
superheroes.
They're the manufacturer.
Right, the manufacturer of the superheroes. They had a campaign going where it had the 3 female characters, and it said like, "Women get it done," or "Girls get it done," or something like that. So there's obviously some big campaign to promote these female characters. And
Did they get Beyonce behind that? Who
I don't
run
know.
the world? Girls. Just kidding.
I'm not sure. She might own Amazon for all I know.
Not Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
but no, I think those characters are gonna play a big part in the season, obviously. And then another character that and George, you mentioned this from that clip that kind of showed some expression or emotion, is Black Noir. Like,
Oh yeah.
I wonder if we're ever gonna find out anything else about him this season, because he, like, besides playing the piano last year and like some of his fighting, we didn't see much out of him.
Well,
What do y'all
I
think
will
about
say
that?
this: the next clip we're going to be playing, which is came out, I believe, yesterday. So this is the most recent clip that I'm aware of. It's a lengthier one. It's about 3 minutes long, and it has a quite a scene with Black Noir in it, and we see a little bit more of his, you might say, human side. Well, his human side on both sides of the coin, if you catch my meaning. So we'll play that here in a minute, or we can go into it now, unless you guys got something else you want to add to the last
check it
clip.
out.
All right, let's go into it here. This is the last one we're doing today.
Warning, graphic. This will play. Oh, everyone's going to be immortalized in stuff.
Baby kale salad?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Now we're back.
I'm on page 134. Chain of
Hello, Mr.
command
Edgar.
doesn't apply to other military contractors in the field. I don't see why it should apply to us.
Caprese sandwich.
Well, when they're in actual combat, whom exactly do your heroes report to?
Same person as always. Me.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a
Syria.
well and taste. I've been around for a long, long year. So many men.
What the heck?
Spicy
Her
chicken
blood
cilantro
in-
wrap?
Subheading 16. We need a top secret Yankee White designation for Compound B.
Come on, Stan. Only one man okays that. You want to stroll into the Oval Office and start barking orders?
Hell yes. Half our own
I would do
heroes
that.
don't know they have Compound B in their veins. You want China finding out?
Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name.
You guys have guessed his name already, right?
Who's that?
But you haven't guessed his name yet?
Oh my gosh!
This one.
Christ.
Best efforts to limit collateral damage? We'd prefer stronger wording.
Well, that's standard language for our New York contract. L.A., Chicago.
Exactly what casualty allowance are we looking at here?
Officially, 0, of course. But cone of silence, 34%.
Veggie frittata?
ممكن بقوة نار المقدسة؟
Maybe by the
هيكتروا الكلمات بدنا جملة تشد الانتباه
شو رأيك
You guys remember him, right?
تلق
Yep,
بالحقيقة؟
that is the terrorist from the end of season.
هي جملة تمام أنا بفتكر إنه
He's gonna have a long season, I predict.
Or not. I hope that
Is that his end?
Yo, it's just standing there.
oh my goodness. The art is invincible. Oh no!
Wow. Oh, that was quick.
Oh, that's so cute.
He's giving him the money.
Oh my gosh!
That was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't seen that trailer.
No, I hadn't either.
You know what I think that is? I think that's the first 3 minutes of the season.
Okay.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, because they did the boys cast did a Zoom call about a month or so ago where they showed that clip. I just didn't remember the first part of it, but yeah, they showed that part for sure.
Black
So-
Noir is badass. I mean,
Yep.
for him to just rip apart a person's, skull with
Yeah, he
jaw
went all,
and
was that
Sick.
Samson on it?
Ugh.
Samson on him? Yeah.
George, what do you think?
That was awesome. Yeah, he looks like a badass character. Like, I hope we get to learn a little bit more about him, because I know Justin. I think we talked about this last year when we were talking about him possibly being a clone of Homelander. I mean, that would be pretty cool to see if that panned out this season, but I don't think so. Maybe season 3.
Yeah, that's a storyline from the comics. And again, I haven't read the comics, even though we do have the comics in our possession. We just can't get to them because they're at the office.
Stuck at the office.
Yeah, thanks to Drew in Wisconsin for those again. We would love to read those, but we can't right
They're
now.
in quarantine.
Right. But the one thing about the show is the show doesn't necessarily follow the comics. They made changes. You know, for example, the Deep was a black character in the comics
With like a helmet on his head and stuff, right?
Right. Stormfront was a man, and like a man from like Britain or something. Obviously, it's a female character in the show. And there was a like a storyline that had Black Noir being a clone of Homelander in the comics. So that may not even happen. I mean, it's a cool idea, but I don't know. They really haven't set that up at all. You know.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed in the video we just watched in that clip that I found kind of interesting. I hadn't noticed it the first time through. But I'm beginning to think, and I don't know how relevant or important this is, but I'm beginning to think that maybe Black Noir is almost identical in powers to Kimiko, because you saw he was burned and stuff, right? And then the very next scene is he's walking by the kid in the place there. He's healed up. There's still damage there, but you don't see the blood and stuff on him. So does he have rapid healing much the way she does? And she's clearly shown she's super strong to the level that he is as well. So I don't know. Or maybe they just didn't get real creative between the two of their powers. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't they face off in the first season? Wasn't there a scene where they fought? Yeah,
they did.
So
Yeah, and she was using knives. He's using knives. They're all very effective.
I'm getting like Wolverine kind of vibes, you know, with the self-healing, but then I'm going to take it a step further that for, let's say, because we've seen with Kimiko, she can, you know, heal, but with Black Noir, was he always able to do that prior to the battle with her, or was he like rogue and borrows her power?
That is exactly the next point I was going to bring up, is what if, because you were talking about how he's like Homelander in one of these versions. Well, what if he's more like a siphon or stealer of powers, which could go back into that if he's able to draw powers from others, that he might be that safety net that Vought put in place. So I'm glad you brought that up. You beat me to it, but good.
My nerdum is showing.
does DC have a character like that? Is there a DC character that's similar to that has those powers? I can't think of one off the top of my head.
In DC?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, because
no, but there's several in Marvel now I think about that are some form of, because there was Leech who could leech the powers. He didn't gain them, but he took them away from people. There's
Deadpool can, you know, heal.
Well, no, but I mean specifically the rogue-like ability of stealing a power from somebody. Yeah, ironically, we one day broke, for the Marvel geeks out there, we one day broke the universe, the Marvel universe. All it took was Rogue and what is his name? Multiple Man. Because all she has to do is take Multiple Man's power, make multiple of herself, continue stealing all the powers of everyone else in the universe, and then with the super speed and everything she can get from various superheroes in the Marvel universe, she can literally populate and fill the entire universe with herself, with all the powers of all the superheroes in seconds. So yeah, she could break the Marvel universe if she ever shook Multiple Man's hand.
Has she done that in the comics?
Shook his hand? I hope not, because I still, you know, they're still around, so I'm guessing not.
Well, they could always do another
she could choose
or...
not to, you know, make multiples of herself and then use those multiples to make more multiples and copy and take other people's powers, but yeah, kind of busted.
So I have a question for you guys, and I like for y'all to each answer. So last season we had a guest role of Mesmer, who was played by Haley Joel Osment.
He saw dead people.
Yeah, he saw some dead people and what have you, and now he's dead. But do you guys do you guys think there will be any guest celebrities on the show, albeit brief or not? And if so, who would you want to see in The Boys? I'll let y'all ponder that for a little bit.
I mean, we're gonna see cameos from people. I mean, that's just like, it's too popular of a show now. Like, there's gonna be people in there, but no one really, you know.
Because I wonder if it's going to be like how it was with Game of Thrones. Like, everybody wanted to have some kind of cameo in Game of Thrones, even if they died in like a scene. You know, we saw what's his name, Aaron Rodgers had a brief cameo.
Right. Okay.
Ed Sheeran, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
So that's kind of like what I'm talking about.
I think because the first season, so they'd already started filming the second season before the first season even came out. So if we do see anything like that, I think it'll have to be in season 3. I don't think we're going to see that in season 2, unless they're just celebrities who are going to be in it anyway. Like, you know, Seth Rogen was in the first season, but he's an executive producer, I think. And there were other celebrities there too that I can't really think of it. Like, there's an ESPN like reporter guy who's in there, and so I don't know. George, what do you think?
I'd like to see Jeff Bezos make a cameo. And just like reveal that he owns all of them. He owns Vought, he owns everything. Any other company, he owns everything.
Until his ex-wife gets there.
And then she takes half.
Yeah.
All right.
The wife is actually Stormfront.
Wow. Plot twist.
All right.
What do you think, Nathan?
That's it.
I'm thinking just because Edgar was Gus in Breaking Bad, I'd like to see Bryan Cranston revisit a role as a scientist under Edgar. That's what I'd like to see.
That'd be awesome.
Funny.
And
what if he's the scientist that's behind the
Compound V?
Called?
Well, that
Compound
was
V.
That was they already played. That was
But the other scientist I know.
yeah,
But what
I
if
forgot his name. But yeah, maybe he's just in the lab, or maybe he's taken over because he died.
Yeah.
So maybe
exactly.
he's now heading that up. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I like
That'd
that.
be fun.
And you know that actor, what's his name again? Is it
Bryan
Juan?
Cranston or who?
No, the bad guy in The Boys, the one we saw in the boardroom.
I just totally spaced down his name.
Giancarlo Esposito or something like that.
Esposito, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Juan Carlos.
So-
yeah.
Yeah, he's the bad guy like in everything. He's the bad guy in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy in Breaking Bad.
Have
He's
you
the
guys
bad guy in The
seen
Boys.
Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
I have not watched it. No.
So there's a
Negative.
good reason he's the bad guy in all this stuff. He did
Okay.
it so well. So
Yeah.
well.
You know, this guy is banking. I mean, if he was in Breaking Bad and did well, now he's in The Boys, you know, doing well, and he's also in Mandalorian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's also going to be in a video game. Like he's like a video game character, and he's on the cover of the game. I can't remember what game. I think it's like Far Cry or something like that. Anyway, he's like the villain in that too. So he's made this like bad guy business his
business.
His business, yeah.
And business is booming.
That's right.
Do you think they'll incorporate anything about quarantine into season 3?
They'll sneak something in.
COVID-19. I mean,
I don't know
let's
if they'll go
be real.
there because I think they've got. I want to believe at any rate they have a pretty well planned out story arc, and I don't think they want to deviate. They, just for the giggles, they might slip a little something in, but I don't think anything that would affect the plot in any way because. Unlike Game of Thrones, I think they have a solid story arc on where they're going. At least I pray they do.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, because we already have talked a little bit about it, supposedly George R.R. Martin is back to writing Winds of Winter.
Yay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
too little, too late.
that's true. Okay, back to The Boys. So obviously there was a lot to unpack. Of course, we can't, unpack every little detail of the trailers that we saw, but I mean, overall, I think we can safely say we're just looking forward to season 2 beginning on September 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and just to
Now-
let.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Justin.
Go
Real
ahead.
quick, is everyone going to binge watch the first 3 episodes? The answer is yes.
Yes, we will.
That's a question.
I was going to let everybody know. So the way it's going to work this year is, so in season 1, they just, like one weekend in July, they just dropped all 8 episodes. So this year they're going to do a little differently. So on September 4th, when it premieres, they're going to do the first 3 episodes will premiere that week. And then each Friday, they're going to have one more episode. So
have they said how many episodes there's going to be? Is it 8 again or more?
I think there's probably going to be 8. There might be 10, but I expect 8 because I think that's like Amazon's kind of number. I don't know. Like, it seems like a lot of them have 8 episodes. I don't know.
I'm curious it's not 7.
Yeah, it's a good point. But so our plan this year is hopefully what we can do is every week when the episodes come out, we'll be able to watch the videos and, give you our thoughts and our takes on the show. And we're going to try to stick to that schedule. And we want to be the show for all boys information and content. So I know that sounded terrible. That sounded terrible. And that goes back to something Brittany. Okay, it goes back to something that Brittany said last year. It's like the Boys is not the best title of the show. Like
I mean, wholeheartedly stand by that name, and you just proved my
I know.
point.
I walked right into that. As I was saying it, I was like, "This doesn't sound good."
This train is
But
going
you
off the
couldn't
rails,
stop.
but I can't stop.
I didn't know where else to go. Yeah, I was on the tracks. Like there's just nowhere else to go.
Your friend Jason just put "Save Our Children."
This is not going well. I'm gonna blame it on the fact that we haven't podcasted like in 6 weeks.
Sure.
Because usually our show is a well-oiled machine. Like it's just, I mean,
did you say
smooth.
well or whale oiled?
Wow.
Nathan Hale.
Yeah.
Off the dome.
Nathan, I'm supposed to be the funny one. Like
but you write your
you
jokes
didn't
down.
get notes to write down this time.
I have notes.
Nathan,
but
air five.
I do have notes, but they're not jokes. I never write my jokes down. But maybe I should because I'm out of practice here. But no, I think we're all excited to cover the show, and because like I said last year, it was probably our favorite show that came out last year. I mean, it had to be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it was such like a surprise, like it was. I mean, I knew it was coming out, but I had no idea it was going to be that good. So.
Well, wasn't it you, Justin, that put us onto the show to begin with?
Me and somebody else watched the same time. We were both kind of at the beginning of it. And we're like, you saw it too.
Yeah, we watched the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing I'd like to actually ask our viewers, if you're interested in, so there's a show I've watched and definitely enjoy. It's my second favorite show from last year, and that is Umbrella Academy. Love the show. If that's something you watchers would be interested in hearing about, let us know. Season 2 just came out a couple weeks ago, I believe it was. It was also really good. I don't know if the rest of the watchers have watched it yet. Have you guys? It's on Netflix.
I have
highly
not,
recommend
no.
it.
Yeah.
So I know it's a superhero show, but what's give me like the 30-second elevator pitch for the show.
A group of, I can't remember if it's 6 or 7, kids are brought in and raised by this eccentric old man as their child to essentially save the world. They have these very random chaotic powers, and there's an organization that is out there that is, I think they're called the Company. I can't remember their name, but they are attempting to restore a timeline order and prevent the end of the world / actually not universe, just world. And they are an integral part of what's wrong, as in these 7 kids or 6 kids. Again, I can't remember if it's 6 or 7. It's easy with the boys because they call them the 7, and you're like, oh, there's 7 of them.
So it's like X-Men, sort of.
It's kind of X-Men, but it's got the dark humor of the boys, which is why I think you guys will really like it. Like it's got humor, it's got great action, great character development, but it's also gets dark as well.
I'll give it a go.
Good deal.
I'll at least watch one episode and see how it goes. Because before this live stream, Nathan and I were talking about it, and I asked, how does it compare to The Witcher? Because The Witcher, for me at least, was a slow burn up until episode 3, and Nathan said by episode 1, like it's good.
Yeah,
So.
it's far better. There was no like slow burn on it. It's just it gets and it goes right from the get go, and it was hard to stop watching. It was like The Boys. It's hard once you start watching it to stop watching it. Very binge worthy, and Klaus is awesome. Robert Sheehan is the actor's name, if I recall correctly, and he's just awesome in the show. But anyway, yeah, if you guys are watching or interested, let us know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll check that out. And speaking of like Netflix kind of Game of Thrones-y kind of shows, have y'all watched Cursed? Has anybody watched that?
I haven't even heard of that one.
It came out about a month ago, and it's like a King Arthur kind of like tale. I watched the first episode. I wasn't that into it. I didn't watch any more, but it kind of had like a Game of Thrones-y kind of feel to it. So
you're
Y'all
hoping
still
one of
need to
us
watch
kept going.
Nightfall.
I did watch Nightfall. I preferred Vikings, but Nightfall was still very entertaining.
I think I watched the first episode of Vikings, but I haven't gone back to it. But I was telling Nathan about this earlier on Hulu through Nat Geo. There's a show called Genius, and so far there's only 2 seasons on Hulu. The first season is 10 episodes, all about Albert Einstein. It's biographic, but it's done in like a television series kind of way. I caught like midway in the season, and I hate doing that because I want to know exactly what's going on. But Jeffrey Rush plays the older Albert Einstein, but you go back into his early years, etc. It's a really fascinating show. I learned, obviously so much. And the next season 2, again, 10 episodes, is going to cover Pablo Picasso. And as an art major, that's fantastic for me. And he will be portrayed by Antonio Banderas. So if you guys, George, Nathan, and Justin, and everyone else out there, if you have access to Hulu, I highly recommend watching one of the seasons of Genius. It's really interesting to me, and I liked it. So hopefully you guys will too.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. And for those of you who do like Vikings, I believe the final half of the last season, season 6, is coming out this fall. So you'll finally get closure on that storyline.
Speaking of Vikings, is Randy Moss the greatest Viking of all, or Chris Carter maybe?
That's a good question. I kind of lean towards Moss, though, to be honest.
Right, yeah. I think he's probably like the most famous Minnesota
best
Viking.
known.
Yeah. Okay, that joke didn't work. So George, what have you been watching lately?
I started watching 30 Rock on Amazon. That's all I've been watching right now. I finally watched The Wire. I finished The Wire. Probably the best show on TV ever.
Really?
Yeah, it was so good. That show was incredible.
It was really good.
Other than that, that's about it. I've just been watching 30 Rock. Again. Yeah.
I read somewhere that people who rewatch episodes of their favorite TV series, it brings them comfort, because especially for someone like me, I suffer from anxiety. Rewatching things like Harry Potter or The Office or whatever else, it brings comfort because you don't have to anticipate what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen, but it just brings you comfort to rewatch it again. So I think that's one theory as to why we keep rewatching the things that we've already seen hundreds and thousands of times.
That's why I keep watching Batman versus Superman, because that movie,
that Martha moment. Oh,
Now, speaking of that, this is a segue right here, kids. Did y'all see the news yesterday that Ben Affleck is going to return as Batman,
as well as Michael Keaton?
Right, for this Flashpoint movie.
Yeah.
What are y'all's thoughts on that news?
I have a friend who is a huge fan of the Flash. I mean, huge. And he's been very excited for this. He watches the show, reads all the comics, on and on. So I know Rick is likely excited for it. To be honest, I don't really have much opinion. I'm not really a DC movie person. They've let me down 1 to 100 times. So me, I don't really
Shazam was
care.
good. Yeah.
Shazam was good, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really care, but I imagine if I wanted to know whether it should be good or bad based off of the DC Flashpoint comic line, which I know is one of the most, in Flash at least, the most popular storyline they've ever done, and one of the better ones in the DC universe, I've been told. He could probably talk for hours about how that's either a good or bad idea at this point, but I'm pretty sure he's probably very excited about it. Rick, if you end up watching this, comment, let us know.
I think it's a good idea to go that way, because from what I understand, the Flashpoint is kind of a way to kind of organize the universe, because they have it's kind of like their restart button for all their properties, because like they're going to have multiple Batmans, you're going to have multiple, I assume, other characters. Yeah. It's just their kind of way to sort things out. And I mean, I love the idea of Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck coming back and playing Batman. I don't think Michael Keaton was awesome. I don't think Ben Affleck was a problem in those movies. Those movies were just bad movies. I just they didn't have a story, like or they had a story, honestly, like Batman vs Superman had like 100 ideas, and they put them in a blender and made a smoothie, and it tasted terrible. It just wasn't good. Justice League was a mess. And of course, we're going to see the Snyder cut of Justice League at some point this year, I assume. So, by the way, for people who are like excited for the Snyder cut, I'm glad you're happy, but like, okay, Batman vs Superman, that was the Snyder cut of that movie. It was not good. What was the Superman movie called? Man of Steel. That was the Snyder cut of that movie. It wasn't very good. So
yeah.
So don't, be careful. Like, pump the brakes a little bit. George, what do you think about that?
Oh,
no,
I'm not excited at all for those. I don't really care. I haven't even seen it, so I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it since I heard the original Justice League was awful. So maybe I'll watch that one for the. No.
You've never seen any of those?
No.
Oh wow.
Or you're not missing out.
You're not missing out.
Oh, I know. Just like Star Wars.
We're not going to talk about that. Not on this episode.
You really can't argue that point, though, because those last 3 movies are just.
I thought it ended at episode 6 and started at episode 4. Am I confused on that?
I agree with that take.
Did y'all see that thing I posted on our Instagram and Twitter, I believe, of a guy not affiliated with us, but he basically broke down what the titles of each Star Wars movie should have been. It was freaking legit.
Yeah.
Legit. Blew my
Spot
mind.
on.
Spot on. But to go back to your question, Justin, about the Batman movies and Ben Affleck and what have you, I hate Ben Affleck with like a passion. Affleck. Can't stand him in the Batman movies. I'm even more disappointed that we now have Robert Pattinson, who's going to be portraying Bruce Wayne, Batman, whatever, in maybe a separate universe. Don't really care. I think the whole thing just needs to die.
You just ruined our chances of getting Affleck on this show and getting a sponsorship from Affleck. All in one fell sweep of a sentence there, Brittany.
Yeah.
Do any of y'all have Affleck?
No.
But I might change my insurance, so who knows? I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah. Well, guys,
legitimately, it's up in like a few weeks, so I might change it.
We've been at this now for an hour and a half, roughly. Do we want to kind of wrap this up?
Yeah, I got one more thing to mention, another superhero related thing. So I don't know if y'all are gamers, some of y'all might be, or if the audience is gamers, but there's a new Avengers game that's coming out also September 4th, same day as The Boys Season 2. And the demo version of that game is available today through like Sunday on PS4, Xbox, and PC. I played the game a little bit. It's pretty amazing. So
Really? I'll have to download it and try it out.
Yeah, it's made by Crystal Dynamics, I think is the company. It's the one that does the Final Fantasy games, which I've never really been into, but the game looks really cool. They have like really like top-notch voice actors playing the roles, and I mean it's going to be like I think it's going to be a game that people are going to play for a couple of years because there are going to be so many characters, and they're going to add some stuff here and there. And I think the MCU, like there might be like MCU tie-ins to the game. So anyway, if you like Avengers, and I know we're big fans of the Avengers, then you should check it out, especially right now because it's free. So
cool.
And by the way, we're not sponsored by Xbox or PlayStation or anything, but
I wish.
If they would like to sponsor us, please contact me.
And Ben Affleck, if you want to sponsor us, don't let Brittany's comments, make you think otherwise.
I mean, with his drinking problems, he might need a sponsor. So maybe we could. Maybe it's like
we could sponsor you.
We sponsor him. He sponsors
win-win.
us. Yeah.
And maybe we can get a sponsorship from Jack Daniels or something.
Yeah. I mean, really, all I want from Ben Affleck, I want him to add me as like one of the writers on Goodwill Hunting, because that was pretty much that's my life story. That's an autobiography right there of me.
Man. Jeez.
Anyway.
Was that the last joke you had written down, Justin?
What's that?
Was that the last joke you had written down?
Yeah.
That was not a joke. I mean, it wasn't written down, but I'm rusty, man. It's been a long time since we've done this. We gotta. I mean, once we get back to going every week, which we're going to be doing in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, we're going to be every week. Maybe on Fridays, maybe on Mondays. We're not sure yet. We'll get that figured out.
Probably, but actually, I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah. I mean, depends on when we can watch the episodes.
Yeah,
but
that's really what comes.
I'm probably going to watch them. I'm probably going to watch them as soon as I can.
Yeah, I'm probably Friday night going to watch them.
Okay, maybe we'll do it Monday then. The following Monday of every week, we'll do our our boys review. Because we are the show for all your boys content.
Jason says Justin notes next time. Notes for jokes.
Wow, that's harsh.
It is. That's your friend
harsh.
right
Yeah. With friends like that, who needs enemies, right?
there. Or boys. Just saying. Anyway.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up. So Brittany, so let's say you're on social media and you're looking for a fun show to follow. How would someone follow us on social media? And we being that fun show.
So we're talking about us, the Watchers in the Basement, -1 today.
Exactly.
George, throw up Frank. That way the people can see our missing member for today. But for those who, come on, look at that face.
There he is.
Like, why wouldn't you want to
speak up, George? Let everyone see a big full view.
We missed you, Frank.
Oh man! So if you want to follow us and as we talk about The Boys season 2 coming out September 4th, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just simply search The Watchers in the Basement. Be sure to like I said, follow us. And if you do want to chat with us, we love talking to you all, getting your feedback. Be sure to use the hashtag WatchersBasement. That way we can get the word out about this little podcast, because we are a very small podcast, but we enjoy what we do. Also, don't forget, we're a proud one. Thank you.
You came up with that line too. That was your line.
I did.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not the only one who's rusty. All right?
Notes. We all need notes.
It wasn't a joke. Anyway,
Okay.
Also be sure to follow us on anchor.fm, where we are able to upload our audio podcast in case maybe the video podcast isn't your thing. That's cool. We appreciate any support that you all offer. And last but certainly not least, we also have YouTube. So be sure to check out our YouTube channel, where we've got other video podcasts of different things, pop culture, Game of Thrones, well, maybe not Game of Thrones, Marvel Cinematic Universe, our previous episodes of The Boys. And once again, if you have anything that you want us to watch and talk about, be sure to leave the comments down below. And that pretty much is it, Justin.
Yeah, I just want to know, guys, real quick. Leave comment below on who your favorite of the 7 is, because I'm curious.
Well, That's a question I was going to ask earlier. Can we name the 7? We're all kind of rusty, obviously, but
Well,
can
I
we name
mean,
the 7?
when we name the 7 at the end of name the
Season
7
one?
that were all alive at some point in season 1.
Okay, let's do it right now.
All right, let's start with George. You get the first one, George.
Homelander.
All right, Justin.
Oh,
I'm going to say Queen Maeve.
Brittany.
Starlight.
A-Train. Woo woo.
Black Noir.
Justin.
I'm stumped. Well, I mean, the Deep, technically, right?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
And that's
Okay.
just one left.
Oh, Translucent.
There we go. We did it.
Oh, but he's dead.
Yeah,
was
but he was
alive.
alive at some point in the show. Lamplighter was never
I
alive
thought-
in the show, so
I thought we said at the end of season 1.
no.
Yeah, that's
in,
what I thought you
in the
said.
show, in the season 1, because there's no there'd only be 6 otherwise.
Listening is essential, y'all. Just saying.
Also, math is tough, too.
Math is tough
Math is tough.
because those weren't in the notes, were they? Numbers or anything.
Oh.
All right. Let's wrap it up,
Reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? The 3 R's, even though arithmetic's not an R.
y'all. Wow.
Anyway,
Or writing.
so thank you all for joining us for Brittany, Nathan, George, and Frank. This is Justin signing off. We will see you in 2 weeks for the return of the boys. Have a great weekend. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, guys.